Hi everyone, it's Jaspreet Kochiman. Today I'm here to present my topic, harm minimization. So as you can see my poster, I choose the harm reduction as the harm minimization pillar. So just for an overview of my poster, there's a picture in the center saying harm reduction, which represents my topic. I will discuss about its aim, its strategies and its effectiveness. On the very left hand side there's a picture saying one needle, one syringe, only one time, which represents National Needle and Syringe Program as a strategy for the harm reduction. On the right hand side there is another picture saying supervised injecting saves lives, which represents another strategy called medically supervised injecting centers. On the bottom there is a picture saying where there is a pill, there is a way, which represents another strategy named pill testing. So now I will discuss all these in detail, starting from the harm reduction. Harm reduction aims at mitigating the effects of substance use, thus reducing damage caused by it to individual, to significant others, to society, and any nuisance issues as cited by Wintergarten 2020. So it is quite clear that it's a preventive strategy which only focuses on preventing the harm or damage, and it does not prevent use of drugs. So this strategy can be used in people who are unable or unwilling to stop drug addiction. Talking about the strategies that I mentioned, let's start with the National Needle and Syringe Program. So in late 2010, the National Needle and Syringe Program Strategic Framework was released. Needle and Syringe Program aims at reducing, minimizing the sharing of injectable equipment such as needles and its reuse, reducing the volume of discarded needles, and facilitating access to sterile needles. Thus, this type of strategy prevents any drug-related harm such as HIV infections, HCV and HPV infections as cited by Fernandez et al. 2017. Talking about its effectiveness, it was estimated that from 1991 to 2000, this strategy prevented 25,000 HIV and 2100 HCV infection. Furthermore, it saves 2.4 to 7.7 billion by 2010. So it was quite an effective strategy. Talking about another strategy, the pill testing, the picture at the bottom. Testing involves dance parties, music festivals, and also it analyzes the sample of drugs by the scientists who provide the information about the composition and purity of the drugs. Results are then posted anonymously on information boards, event websites, or any other media so that people can review feedback clearly and discreetly. Music festivals have long been recognized as venues, frequently by relatively homogeneous groups of people with similar drug taking behaviors. Attendings are often well educated and aged between 20 to 35. Data from overseas indicate that at least 1 in 5 young people attend music festival intend to take drugs. Peer pressure to take drugs, especially cocaine, cannabis and alcohol, is high, creating dangerous settings, as shown by the fact that 6 young people have died in as many more months as a result of illicit drug use at music festivals in Australia. To make this strategy effective, it was ensured that the risk related to drug taking in general and multiple additional factors that can add further risk, such as dosages, mixing of drugs, combination with alcohol, dehydration, so on, also explained in the pill testing strategy. However, pill testing is not uncontroversial. Indeed, so far, governments and policy forces in many countries, including Australia, remained in their opposition. The argument against such program must be considered carefully because the reliability of the test cannot be guaranteed, and the other factors contributing to the risk mentioned above are also unpredictable. That is unlikely that pill testing would help. So it was not a quite successful strategy till now, but to ensure its effectiveness, if the above mentioned risks are explained in the pill testing, then it would be effective. Talking about the last strategy, that is medically supervised injecting centers, I will take example of a Sydney medically supervised injecting center, which is a supervised injecting facility where people who inject drugs can do so legally under health professional supervision. The majority of clients have low level of education and employment, high rates of incarceration and unstable housing and poor social networks. And 70% of the customers do not access local health services. These factors increase the risk of poor mental health, and has been documented that people who inject drugs have elevated rates of more anxiety, personality, and psychotic disorders, and higher rates of trauma as well. So the main objective to prevent injury and death by being present and providing medical assistance as required is the main objective of this program of the pill testing. Overall, there are many national and international organizations working hard and implementing several strategies, and some of these I have mentioned here. Needle and syringe program is one of the highest successful strategy, but all other strategies are also working well. But what we can do is to educate people around ourselves and save lives by being there for them and offering them help. Thank you so much.